now we're going to work on refining our edges. So open up the file B6 in Schoology, and you'll see that you've already seen where sometimes you select something and it doesn't quite get it. Some of you had this with the balloon. Some of you have had it with other things. And imagine if you're doing something like feathers, where there's these little pieces, and you'll experience this with hair when you're doing both the Warhol project and the head and body switch. And so refining the selection is going to be really important. So you can always refer back to this video too. So I want you to do File, Save As, Refine Selection. You can do Refine Select if you don't want to spell all that out. Okay. We're going to press and hold the magic wand tool, and dun da dun, we're going to use the quick selection tool that everyone loves to use. I can't stand it, but you already know that. I have already spoken my piece about the quick selection tool. So now we're going to click the brush picker that I'm toggling up here. Everybody thinks it's here. Remember, that's where you reset your tools if something's acting funny. So click here, and we're going to select the size 10 pixels. So instead of messing with this, you can actually just type it in. Then we're going to position the quick selection tool at the top of the eagle's head. And we're going to drag the brush slowly over the eagle's white feathers and then down over its brown feathers. So because of that, I'm going to zoom out so that I can see all of it. So I'm going to drag it down, and hopefully it will get everything. There you go. So compare your selection to mine, and then go to Select at the top, Refine Edge. Because believe it or not, we're leaving little pieces of those feathers behind, and we don't want to do that. We want to try to get it the best we can. So now we're going to click the View List arrow here, and we're going to sample all 7 views so that you can see that you can view it different ways depending on what colors you're using. We're going to choose on white, and you can get out of there then by just clicking back. Then we're in the edge detection area. Now we're going to verify that Smart Radius is checked. Is not checked. And we're going to drag the radius slider. Just drag it to show, just to see what it does. So if you drag it around, you can get a feel for what these numbers mean and what it's going to get you. We're going to end up with a value of 30. But again, I like you to drag this around when you're doing it rather than just rely on the numbers I give you, because it's important that you know why we arrive at that number. It's cleaner. So it also improves the selection of the long white feathers over here that we hadn't gotten. Experiment with the smooth slider too. And you'll see that it does smooth things out, sometimes a little too much. So we don't want to go crazy. Remember, we're trying not to make things look photoshopped. So we're going to end up with smooth at 3. And then the contrast slider, again, experiment, but we're going to end up at 12. I'll just let you experiment if you want to pause it and see what the different values mean. And then we're going to click OK. And you'll see that we got these little hairs a little better. If you're doing a lady's hair and she has curly hair, you'll really need to do this. All right, so now we're going to go up on the application bar to select, and we're going to inverse, because it's going to select everything outside of the eagle. And we're going to fill this with white. So you already know how to do that many different ways. We could, let's just go to Edit Fill. And we're going to click this Use List arrow, and we're going to choose white. Now, could we have switched the white over here to foreground and done Option Delete? Yes. But the point is, I'm trying to show you different varieties of ways to do things. So now you see, if you deselect, that we got all the feathers. It's amazing. Have fun.